let's talk about a game called Dirt 4.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. So this will be our official review for Dirt 4. And we're excited about it because Deep Silver sent us copies of the game, right? So full disclosure, Danny got the PC version. I got the PS4 version. We've been playing it, having a lot of fun, crashing against walls, flipping the cars, doing all that fun stuff. But it's been really, really good. So a couple of things that if we want to mention before we get into the review, our impressions, our reactions for the game. Got to do some housekeeping. Okay, so let me work on that, and then we'll talk about the stuff that we want to talk about. So over 50 of the most breathtaking off-road cars ever built, 5 incredible rally locations with millions of routes, and you can generate them, and it's endless. I think you have Australia, Michigan, Spain, Sweden, and Wales, right? So you have that. The official game of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. And then you have the modes. Land Rush is a mode, a shortcuts, dirt track, racing, and pro buggies. You have Joyride, Dirt Academy, career mode, competitive gaming, next generation of RaceNet. I think I had to create an account for RaceNet for me to actually begin the process. Did you have to do that too, or you already had an account?
I did
You
have
had to do it also? And then
Yep.
damages and repair are pretty cool. Free play, I like the fact that when you're installing the game, you can ride around for a little bit as you're waiting for it to fully install. I don't know if you experienced that as
Okay, I
well.
didn't experience that one.
Yeah, so as I was loading the PS4 version and installing it, had a little progress bar for me installing the game, and as I was doing that, it gave me a little area where I can just drive around, spin, around cones and drive through like little garage area things. So it was pretty cool. You can tune the car. It says tuning, tweak your setup based on vehicle, track, and weather conditions to best suit your racing style. I did mention damage and repair, so wear and tear faithfully recreated, which is pretty cool. And I think during the time that I really first spent watching the game when Deep Silver was streaming it, they were, doing codes of the game every time the guy who was playing Will crashes. So he was trying his best not to crash, but at the same time, he crashed a few times. So individuals were getting free copies of the game. I believe also Diana was on stream with Will at the time when I was watching it. So a couple of things that I wanted to hit. Danny, if there's anything that I missed, please I guess catch those things for me, and then we'll talk about the game, Dirt 4, which is really dope.
I think that's all that we covered. At least a good generalizing to understand what the Dirt 4 is offering.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I guess I'll go with you first. So what did you think about the game once you started playing it and getting into it?
Well, to be fair, I've never played any of the games from the Dirt series. That was my very first.
Hey, full disclosure, I haven't either. This is my first one.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, so I'm with you.
Okay, good. Good. I'm not like the only weirdo. And to be honest, I was like, whew, it's been a while since I actually played a racer, and this one I actually really enjoyed. I liked it for, I played it. I feel like I played it on easy mode because it gives you those two choices between if you want the gamer feeling where you just like racing to have fun, and then you have the full simulation, which gives you like more in-depth feel about racing. And I decided to choose the gamer side of it because it's been a while since I played one, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to be overwhelmed with the simulation part of like when I think of a racer that comes with simulation as an option of how to play and the feel of the game, I instantly think of Gran Turismo. And that game I used to put a lot of time into. I didn't think I was ready for it. Gran Turismo?
No, which number? Which Gran Turismo?
What was the last one?
3, 4. I used to play a lot of 2 in the beginning. 1, 2, and 3.
3 and 4 are the ones I put most of my time. I think I put more time into 3 than I did 4.
Okay.
It was still fun though. Even playing it on easy mode was like a lot of fun, and it looked beautiful on PC. I played a little bit before I started streaming, and it was beautiful. But because my PC is a little bit older, when I streamed it, I had to turn down basically all of the settings.
Really?
Yeah, I did. But even
So what does
then,
that mean? So help me because I don't understand really all the
well, I
PC
had to
talk.
turn
So
all the settings, all the settings down to low, so it's not as detailed or as yeah, it's not as high of quality. It's just pretty much like, you're okay. But even then, that still looked really nice. But the reason I had to set it down is or turn it down is because I couldn't have my stream going out and like my it wasn't so much my graphics as it was like overloading my CPU to be able to do all of those things.
okay, gotcha.
But off stream, oh, it looked great. But even then, even turning it down, it looked beautiful. I didn't have any complaints in the stream. Everybody was loving it. I did feel a little bit bad because like everybody that came in to watch, they were like huge Dirt fans, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is my first time, but I love it.
Right. I was actually surprised how much I liked it.
Me too.
Because it's been a while since I played any racing game, and it was so intense, like just going downhill and going through the turns, and even listening to the direction of the lady giving you, you know, the left, right, you know, the turn, and then the hairpin, and all the different things that she's saying while she's giving you the directions. It made me want to go drive my car like really fast, like just cause, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna relax. And you really get into it. You really get into it, and it's been a while since I actually felt that engaged, especially for a driving game. And there's the different modes and the different cars. Of course, I purchased a Beamer in game for my car. I did the E30 as an option, and I'm having a lot of fun with the game. The game is available for PS4, PC, and Xbox One. It was originally released. It is out now, obviously, on June 6th. It was released, and I'm having a fantastic time. And it's rare for me to go back to racing games because I'm very picky. I don't like too arcadey style racing games, but at the same time, I like, you know, a little challenge when it comes to those games, and it gives me a little bit of both, and I'm really happy about that.
Okay, 2 questions for you. First one is, how when you play those types of games, do you play within the cockpit? Is it like which camera view?
Oh, the view,
the
view.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like being inside the car, and I like the view where it's just nothing at all, right? So I think I'm even more engaged and immersed into the experience when I actually see the wheel doing the thing like this, right? Turning back and forth. So I like that view, and it seems like there are times where certain views I can't really get first place as fast as I want to, and then I'll switch to another view and I'll get first place really quick. So I guess the way I'm engaged with the car and how the car is moving in the process, and I'm a driver because I love to drive. So being involved that much into the game really helps me even when I drive, you know, in real life. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of the driving games help me learn how to drive in real life. So I attribute anything that I've learned throughout the years to those experiences, and they do help. So I like the wheel, and I like to answer your original question, and I like the view that has nothing at all.
I cannot drive like in any other view other than just like the cockpit view. Actually, without seeing anything, where you only have the heads-up display. That's it. That's like my favorite, and I feel like that's when I play the best.
Yeah, because it's less of a distraction, because for some individuals, they may feel like the wheel turning because they're not actually doing it is a distraction to them. And I think that and the sound of the car changes obviously when you're doing the one with the wheel view versus the one that you're outside, the one that you like. So it's a dope game. It's a dope game. Like, I haven't heard anything negative about Dirt 4, and I don't think I will, because they really did. Even the competitive part where you're trying to beat other times, and a circuit where you have 2 tracks or 3 tracks depending on what you have with that. Even in those times, it's intense because you're like, okay, I'm behind, let's say 3 or 4 or whatever, and you're trying to race to get it, but at the same time, you're following the instructions of the lady. You don't want to spin, right? You don't want to spin out. So it's intense. It's definitely intense. So If you have not tried it, definitely consider it, or at least watch some streams to see if it's something that you'd want to consider. But I'm definitely digging the game.